would like to introduce one of our leaders from North Hempstead, who also was a county legislator, Robert Troiano.
Thank you, Jay. It is truly, although this is a sad occasion, it is truly my honor to join with all of you behind me, a veritable rainbow coalition made up of people of different religions and different colors coming from different groups, to all join today, to stand together, to renounce one who has displayed racial intolerance and bigotry. Newsday has called her remarks insensitive, which they were. I might use the term offensive, which they were. Others might say they were revolting, despicable, sickening, not worthy of coming out of any human's mouth. They weren't. But we call for her resignation because she has expressed a contempt and antipathy for the African American community that makes her unable to earn the trust and the confidence of people of goodwill from any community. And thus, she has rendered herself unfit to serve as a Nassau County legislator. It was just a few weeks ago that we were all shocked to learn about the racially offensive remarks of Don Sterling, the owner of the LA Clippers. This week, we were jolted again to read in Newsday that our own county legislator, Ellen Birnbaum, made similar defamatory comments. The NBA took quick, decisive action against one of their own by banning Sterling from the league. As a vice chairman of the North Hempstead Democratic Party, I am sickened and saddened that a member of the North Hempstead family is at the center of this unfortunate incident. But I am proud that my party has acted quickly and decisively to do the right thing by sanctioning Birnbaum and calling for a resignation. I also wear the hat of someone who represented the many fine residents, mainly of Hispanic, African American, and Caribbean American descent, as an elected official for 22 years. She asked, in regard to Newcastle, remember, a nearly 100% minority community, she asked, why would anyone want to go there? Then, in case her listeners didn't quite get her point, she added, it's a bad neighborhood. And it's a ghetto. And for good measure, it's full of those black people. She then leaned in, looked around, and whispered, come on, who from the rest of the town is going to go there? After all, mostly black people live there. She later added, yes, she went here, all they want to do is play basketball. More important than any of the feelings of revulsion is the crisis of confidence her words have created. It is unfortunate that this kind of sentiment continues to be expressed by the likes of Paula Dean and more recently by Don Sterling. But it is unpardonable for an elected official responsible for representing the people, all of the people, to harbor such reprehensible prejudice against any segment of the population. It is a question of how African Americans and every other person of goodwill can trust her to vote without prejudice or malice on legislation impacting any of our communities. Thank you all for joining me and for understanding that Ellen Birnbaum must go. Thank you.
Comments, and I do write for Ellen Birnbaum's district.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question in context, because we're not talking so much about censoring. She said something. I mean to say, one aspect is, as you said, She said bad things, you're censoring her. Now let's talk at the recourse that you're defending now. So let me ask you a question. Let's say this was not Nassau County and Great Neck and so forth. Let's say it's the Midwest. Let's say it's a right-wing Christian fundamentalist district. And instead of, excuse me, we're talking about the ability for a party to basically throw some elected official out of office. Let's say this person stood up and made a statement on behalf of a gay marriage. And they said, this counters our values. We are the Christian right. This counters our values. This person needs to be exorcised from our party and from office. How do you...
Well, understand. Let me answer that question because I think it's listen, you know what? I think the more we answer questions, the more understanding we're going to create from the Democratic Party standpoint. When we seek out and we support and we work for individuals who run for office on our party line, we are looking for people who share our values and principles. The statements made by Ellen Birnbaum, regardless of what community she made them in or about, go exactly against our values and principles. And I think they go against the values and principles, frankly, of the Republican Party as well. Any party. They go against what I hope. They go against what I hope, more than party, are American values and principles. You can have your opinions on policy. We can differ on laws that should be enacted or not. But I think as Americans, the time is long since passed where we can believe that one group in our society is inferior to the next. And anyone who articulates that kind of a vision doesn't share our values and must accept the consequences of that.